This is a rapidly developing situation.
Also tonight, we're learning about another toxic metal at one point lingering in the skies above Portland. The state discovering this after concerned parents questioned the DEQ.
Now, they say both Bullseye Glass in Southeast Portland and Uroboros Glass in North Portland have been using chromium in their manufacturing. Both have since stopped using it, but we found out a certain type of chromium can increase the risk of certain types of lung cancer. Our Cole Miller joins us now with much more on what all this means. Cole?
Well, Jeff and Jennifer, as many of us know by now, this comes on the heels of arsenic and cadmium, two other toxic metals already having been detected. And as it turns out, the state has very little power in regulating or permitting what goes out into the air in these circumstances.
I think it might be a grave concern.
Bob Tusignot has lived at his Southeast Portland home near Cleveland High for 40 years.
There's a lot of kids in this area.
What he and those kids don't know is just how long they may have been breathing in toxic air.
So this isn't good, especially finding a third heavy metal.
Today, the DEQ says that third metal, chromium, was being used along with arsenic and cadmium at Bullseye Glass Factory just blocks away from Tusignot's home. In North Portland at Uroboros, the same minus arsenic.
Yesterday, we asked them to voluntarily suspend their use.
Nina DeConcini with the DEQ says they looked at the possible use after concerned parents spoke out Tuesday. Paperwork at the factories confirmed its use.
The most significant health risk would be an increased risk in lung cancer. So it sort of adds to the risk from the arsenic and cadmium for cancer risk.
So why and how did its use go on? It turns out both companies were compliant under federal regulations.
The permitting program that DEQ has for hazardous air pollutants is adopted from the federal program.
A program DeConcini says limits the agency's power. Moss samples turned over to the DEQ last May indicated the toxins.
This research has revealed and daylighted for us areas where we need to look more closely at our permitting program to determine how we might address these localized areas where there are emissions that are of concern.
What's unclear is just how much of that toxic chromium was in the air, how long it will take to figure that out through testing, and what other facilities may be using it. In the meantime, Tusignot says he'll be testing himself for exposure.
There's no question. I think you'd have to be starting to wonder what's going on.
And today, Bullseye released a statement that reads in part, quote, "We are concerned that DEQ's frantic actions could put us out of business and cause 140 people to lose their jobs." Went on to say, quote, "DEQ now says it has been acutely aware of this issue for many years, but has not informed the public of any potential health risks or alerted producers like Bullseye of any need to modify their operations until today." Now, next Thursday, a public forum will be held at Tubman Middle School. That runs from 5 o'clock to 9. We'll keep you up to date on this story. Back to you.
Cole.